Come one, come all to a beautiful show. It's gonna be awesome and some other stuff. Some other musical stuff.
You Ghostnuts, motherfucker.
Oh, we're back again for another week. You're right there.
Yeah, just hurt my wrist.
Be careful, they might put it down as COVID. Yeah. Another week, another episode of Ghostnuts podcast. Global pandemic update.
Quick little fucking update we're gonna hit you with because shit's getting weird.
Interesting. A bit weird.
Interesting, very weird.
I don't know, it's been a while since we've done a pandemic update. Let's just let all you guys know what exactly is going on. There's a lot of shit happening in Australia. If people are interested to know what's going on in Australia,
Especially in our part of the pond, New South Wales has started getting fucking hit hard.
Yeah, so how did all this happen? Apparently a cabbie wasn't vaccinated or some shit, or he only had one of his shots instead of both, so they're blaming that on him. Picked up a couple of people from the airport. Next thing you know, one step too many, jump back up, 82 cluster.
What? Is it 82 now?
I think so.
Shut down the fucking state.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit a lockdown soon.
Yeah, so apparently it's just a moment of time. There's some parts of New South Wales that are already in lockdown. I think 4 government areas. And it seems like...
It's slowly crawling all over the state.
Yeah, so it's spreading.
Case by case.
This Delta
step
variant.
by step. Oh, baby. Gonna infect you, girl. Sorry.
It's the Delta variant, apparently. So
Why the fuck? Okay, we've gone from the UK strain, India strain, whatever, Delta strain now.
Yeah. It's I think because the world doesn't want to pinpoint that it's a
Culturally insensitive.
Yes. Indian strain, British strain, South African strain,
Oof. Do not fuck around.
Brazilian strain, and that is not.
What the hell? The Brazilian strain side effect, it waxes your nether regions.
Yeah, which is I think a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bit interesting how they've relabeled. It's like coronavirus became COVID.
But what are they pulling from the Greek alphabet now? Some shit.
I guess so, because it's alpha.
So what
beta.
if the Greeks claim, this is culturally insensitive to us? You're using our alphabet to label a virus. It's
Never know. Maybe they get a kickback.
That little globalist dog.
Last time I heard, he's a member of the Bilderberg group.
Probably jacking off a child with Tom Hanks allegedly.
Maybe, but let's say there's 24 letters, I think, in the Greek alphabet. And what if there's more than 24 strains? What happens then?
Like in India, they're calling it the Delta Plus now.
Well, we'll get into that in a little bit, but just want to break it down what exactly is happening here. So I think New South Wales is one of 2 states that are Liberal run, or is it 3? I don't know. So that means they're more right wing, just for foreign viewers, and they're about not shutting down the border.
They want to keep the economy flowing.
Yeah.
They love the color of money a bit too much.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's helping keep the economy afloat. So, good thing.
But because it's funny, because the majority of the states in Australia are left wing. However, the whole as a country, it's a
prime minister is right wing.
Right, but it doesn't matter because he's a fucking globalist.
Yeah.
Mason as well.
Allegedly.
Well, no, he's a Mason. It's not alleged. His father was a big, heavy Mason. Just ask Adrian John Wells.
Yes.
So, and it's funny when you talk about this bloke, because last time there was an outbreak, he was enjoying a holiday in Hawaii.
Was that for the fires or for the outbreak?
Both. It was around the same time.
COVID's been around for almost 2 years now, eh?
Yeah, year and a half almost. So he just got back from England.
The G20 summit?
The G27, whatever it's called. And he went to France as well to talk to that other globalist, Bilderberg cunt. So
you got to say alleged after all this.
Well, it's okay. I'll say it, but you know what's good. And yeah, so what's it called? He enjoyed a little holiday. apparently he's self-isolating at home in his fucking Kirribilli house mansion. That
Probably going to chuck another couple of cooking videos up on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Cooking with ScoMo.
Like going to give Huey a run for his money.
He was giving fucking George Soros a run for his money first to the grave. They're both on a downward trend.
Oh, I thought George Soros was dead.
Oh, well. Rumours were not true.
Apparently. So now New South Wales is getting ready to enter, it looks like a lockdown. And sources say that it's going to be a bigger lockdown than anticipated because if you look at the media and all these different avenues, they're saying things like it's inevitable. Like just
They're
words
warming.
like this,
they're warming everyone up.
just to let people know, get ready. We
Like,
know.
don't raid the shopping centres for the toilet paper yet. Give it a couple of days.
Yeah. And and apparently it's caused havoc. So there was a party that happened, and there was like apparently 30 people at this party like a week ago, and then like 20 of the 30 have been infected.
And then one went to Melbourne or some shit.
Yeah, and one went to Melbourne. So it's like it's very interesting because you have. This is when I started tying the pieces together. Melbourne and Sydney have a representative soccer team in their states that are in the grand final. So, and especially now with the sport, there's a lot of like chippy choppy. Where are we going to host the next sports event? You got when Melbourne goes into lockdown, or the teams in Melbourne go to Queensland or something. So now like you have these two teams in the final. Apparently Sydney was planned to host the final. However, they're like, no, we'll just wait and announce when we're going to do it because they were blaming Melbourne is in lockdown. So we're like, because Melbourne just got out of lockdown. So they're like, we'll wait to see what happens with Melbourne if they get out of lockdown. But if Sydney isn't infected at the time, why wouldn't you host it in Sydney? It's like you knew, which is what it is, because they know that Sydney is next to fucking cop the brunt.
Doesn't New South Wales have the lowest immunisation rates out of all the states in Australia? I think they do in regards to the COVID vaccine.
Yeah. Maybe that expiry date's ticking. So maybe the expiry date's ticking and they're like, fuck, we've wasted so many millions of dollars because no one's getting vaccinated. But even though the media is saying everyone's getting vaccinated apparently and no one's getting sick, let's quickly make up our revenue. And look at the date, it's almost end of financial year. We've got to do our taxes as well. But then again, the government doesn't pay taxes, so they use our taxes to pay for other necessities, as they call it. So this whole situation in Australia is funny because even though we had a good run, like throughout our summer, there was like, a bit of cases here and there, it hasn't exploded. But since COVID is pretty much a mutilized
respiratory disease, like a virus.
Common cold, which is pretty much that's what it is allegedly. Winter's coming, as they say in Game of Thrones, and so are the vaccines. So the situation is winter's coming, people get more sick. Get ready, another lockdown's coming. Go fuck yourself, residents.
So it seems like Melbourne had their turn, and now it's Sydney's time in the spotlight. And so basically numbers gonna go up. Fear mongering, put people in lockdown, get the vaccine.
But if you think
enjoy your heart attack.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like there's, even the states, they just announced not long ago that Northern Territory got a case. When have they ever had a case?
I didn't even know Northern Territory existed.
Oh, no one does. What's it called? Then there was Queensland. They're like sort of drip feeding cases to them as well. 2 here, 3 there, whatever. Melbourne just got out of lockdown, but because they need to host the grand final of the soccer tomorrow or tonight, I guess they need somewhere to host it. So let's open the borders and then we'll close it again after the grand final, my opinion. And then who else is there? There's a proposal went through yesterday, I think, because the governors or premiers for Queensland and Western Australia are very keen on pushing in these quarantine camps.
Well,
They don't want hotel quarantine.
the Queensland Premier approved ScoMo's plan for a quarantine centre next to the airport.
Yeah.
So enjoy your little FEMA camp there, buddy.
Yep. And then it's funny because these two states are like more heavily controlled with mining. So they're calling it the mining camps, which is sort of like a FEMA
Imagine
camp.
that you come back into the country. Oh look, out of the airport straight into the quarantine camp next to the airport. Since you're here, you might as well pick up a pickaxe and go mining.
Or the other thing that
Pay
can
for your quarantine.
like a Uyghur.
Get that deep fried lamb ready.
That's that's right. But imagine like you're sent to this mining camp and you're like, oh mad, I found like a gold nugget. You got to exchange it. Oh sorry, there's no more cash. Great reset.
Your gold's useless.
Yeah, that's fucked. Anyway, so Melbourne, Victoria is also proposing a quarantine hub as well as a it's like those little hubs when you're in uni, like the study hubs. Bit fucking anyway. But what's it called?
What's Melbourne's Victoria's quarantine hub? You gonna fucking spend the night with Lynn Fox?
Maybe. Well, isn't that a boxing match?
Allegedly, they might push you down the stairs if you're a bit rude.
Allegedly, you never know. But what's it called? So yeah, all the states are like they're sort of doing their own thing, and it's trying to show that they're like against the country government operating system, as Bill Gates likes to call it. However, they're just complying with each other. It's just a bit of tit for tat, as they say. And I'm not talking about those types of tit for tats.
What are those types?
The ones that run rampant in Parliament House.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but that's a bit of an
Sexual harassment.
Yeah, and I forgot about the main thing. Apparently, this on the 8th of June, this fucking commandos, and I'm not talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger commando.
It's not coming.
I'm talking about like some army bloke that's like
Who is this bloke?
Lieutenant, I don't fucking
Some
know.
fucking skinhead in some green army jacket.
Yeah, and he's going to be in charge of Operation COVID Shield.
We've got a full military operation for Operation COVID Shield. Hang the fuck on it. Do we even have over like 200 active cases in the whole country?
No, and at the time when it got announced, there was like barely any cases. So what is this? What is the reason for Operation COVID Shield? Like, why?
Sounds like the worst fucking antivirus software for a computer.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll speak about antivirus soon. But what's it called? So like, why is the army involved? Like, why do we need the army to come in and take control of this operation? It sounds a bit far fetched. But then again, in times like these, is far-fetched a word to say. I was going to say it sounds a bit fucked.
It is fucked. What the fuck is COVID Shield? Do you know what it involves?
It involves this competency and success of efficient and fast vaccine rollout.
Okay, so forced vaccination, in other words. Interesting.
And also
by the fucking army.
Yeah. So they also mandated vaccinations on because of this taxi driver that infected half of New South Wales apparently.
This bloke must have pulled over in some side street and done the business with his passenger. You know what I'm saying?
One of those ones. And what's it called? There's vaccinations, mandatory vaccinations for people in that industry. So it seems like high risk areas like the airport and things like that are going to be forced vaccinations. So drip feed that shit through and see what happens when they go vaccinate every fucking cunt in this state or in this country or in the world. Is that the big agenda at the end of the day?
Well, that's the goal, right? Vaccinate everyone so that they can have their hearts explode.
Yeah.
There was some study that came out of Israel. Again, I'll have a link in the show notes. I haven't linked it here, but it was conducted in Israel. Apparently, they have a sample size of 100,000 people who took the vaccine, and say out of the 100,000 people, 4,000 were saved from COVID, from the vaccine.
Yeah.
2,000 died from the vaccine, and 10,000 became ill because of it.
Okay.
and I'll have a link, but it's a bit of the person who conducted the study is basically some natural health guru,
Interesting.
but then some other scientists were involved. Yeah, but take that with a grain of salt. And they also said if the trial period was extended, there could have been more side effects.
Well, also, if you want to look about around the world, what's going on, there's this Delta variant that's sort of the latest to affect.
Delta's the Indian strain, right?
Yeah, New South Wales is got a mutation called the Delta Plus. It's like an update on your fucking Samsung 53.
The thing with viruses, right, when they mutate is, in theory, they shouldn't be as deadly, right? Because the reason why they mutate is to survive. So it's a trade-off between potency, so it won't kill as many people, but it's a trade-off for potency for how contagious it is. So it becomes more contagious but less deadly instead of more deadly and less contagious, because that's how the virus will propagate, right? It will spread more, it won't be detected as much. That's a mutation.
Not mutilation.
No. Or he might mutilate you.
It might, because apparently studies are
your
coming...
ovaries and your fucking sperm.
Yeah, well, that's it. Studies are coming around saying that it's affecting more people's fertility. It's affecting heart attack. It's causing heart attacks.
Well, the vaccine, right? There was if you're under 30 or some shit, you're at high risk of developing heart conditions.
That's all.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, but it's we're in this trial period though. You know, it's we're in emergency use. It's just fucking
pick your poison. Either your fucking testicles explode, your heart explodes, your lungs explode, or you have a runny nose and a cough.
Just pick what you want to happen to you. And it's funny because in Australia, they're actually phasing out Astrazenecca vaccine by October.
But when we ramping up production in Australia to fucking make it here.
But when we addressed this in our episode like 3-4 months ago, we got removed straight away.
How multiple countries were addressing concerns.
One of these ones. Cop it, buddy.
Multiple countries were addressing concerns with possible side effects, blood clots. Yeah, but apparently false allegations shut that shit down, and we got shut down.
So, fuck you. That's all I have to say.
All right. Parlay into the next...
so we got in around what's going around in the world. Apparently Europe and USA are opening up only to the vaccinated. We'd expect this. It was part of the whole plan. But they're in summer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because if you're vaccinated in Australia, you're still on lockdown.
Yeah, because
what's the point of being vaccinated?
There is no point. Operation COVID Shield, buddy. But the way it's funny how they're doing it, because you've got I saw in New York City the other day there was some sort of park festival, some hippie-ish, skippish, malipish stuff, and there was a vaccinated section and an unvaccinated section. So in the vaccinated section, you could go roam freely. It's all good. You can dance. You can do drugs. You can fuck the guy next to you. You can do whatever.
Like a flock of free-range chickens.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's all
gravy, baby.
Or gravy, baby. But when you go to the unvaccinated section, you're standing in a fucking spot that's marked that you can't leave this spot because, you're not social distance. You have to social distance. You wear a mask as well. So it's a big separation of class, as they call it, because that's what it seems to be these days. It's like you're a different class. That's the way the media is trying to put it in our minds. Oh, that person is not in the same wavelength as this person because they're better or they're worse because they've been vaccinated or they haven't. So it's just the media fucking just with all that money pulling the strings and telling us the way it is. Go fuck yourself.
Allegedly.
Yeah. After this
Delta.
The Delta variant happened, it sort of spread to sort of more the Eastern Asian countries. So Japan copped it. But it's all good now because the Olympics are starting soon.
Apparently,
so let's get out of lockdown.
Apparently they're forging their numbers just to make sure the Olympics go ahead.
Yeah.
They're not reporting as many cases as are actually happening. And you know what? Enjoy your fucking ramen. Probably fucking gets rid of COVID. Who knows? A nice steamy fucking bowl of ramen. Some char siu pork on the side. I'm getting fucking hungry.
That's it. And then, Yeah, so that's another whole can of worms with the whole Olympic shit, because just like by coincidence we're out of lockdown as it's starting in what is it, in like 2-3 weeks, like who knows?
Wait till those Olympic athletes are in the village, just fucking, we all know what they do in the Olympic
Yeah, the
village.
Olympics is just
You got a
big.
bunch of super athletes
Yeah.
around each other in a village. You go, they're fucking.
Yeah.
They're fucking.
Of course, yeah.
And, and it's going to spread from country to country.
And then you make those super soldiers.
They're going to make the super fucking
athletes.
COVID. What are they going to call that variant?
Oh, that's the next letter of the Greek alphabet, I guess, and it's going to be the Japanese strain. So get ready for that, boys and girls. So yeah, now Southeast Asia is sort of getting fucked now. So you cop the Malaysia, Laos, Indonesia
Bit of spice.
sector.
Adds a bit of spice to that COVID.
So they're sort of in danger zone at the moment. I think Thailand was there as well. So look, and the way it goes on the map, it spreads, and Australia is sort of the next country down the track. So get ready. Yeah, so interesting week we had in the COVID news.
Another piece of news that popped up this week: Mr. John McAfee was fucking found
And
dead.
that's not the McDonald's cafe.
No.
Okay.
John McAfee, for those of you who don't know, British American computer programmer known for creating the first commercial antivirus software, McAfee, and a lot of school computers had that shit installed. Anyway, he sold the company, sold his stake in the shit in the company, moved on to bigger and better things. Some would say.
What's that, crypto?
One of his interests, yeah. So he basically fled the US, went to Belize for a few years, was wanted for tax evasion in the US, and apparently he fled Belize as well because he was wanted for questioning in suspicions of a murder. Apparently his neighbor was complaining about his dogs being a bit vicious, and one step too many, shot in the head. Okay, so McAfee was a political activist. He sought to become president of the United States, if you're unaware, 2016, 2020, unsuccessfully. So that's a little bit of info that you might find interesting.
Nugget, yeah.
Might tie into his death. So in October 2020, McAfee was arrested in Spain over those US tax evasion charges. US federal prosecutors brought criminal and civil charges against McAfee because he failed to pay income taxes. Could be over all the crypto shit he was doing, because he was a big cryptocurrency enthusiast. Some would say a shill. He was paid by all these little fucking pump and dump companies to promote their coins, and he fucking did that. And a lot of people invested in it and lost money when he dumped on their ass. So, one step too many, apparently hung himself in jail in Spain, which he was basically serving. I don't know what the fuck what was his charges for in Spain. I'm not even sure.
No, I don't fucking know. Anyway, like the hanging is
Well, basically,
reminiscent to the Epstein, reminiscent to the celebrity suicides we spoke about in episode 10. You can't find that episode on YouTube because YouTube's fucked. They removed all those post episode 45 videos. So look at it on BitChute. We mentioned about the hangings there.
yeah. So it's funny because the US was basically they got extradition rights to get him out of Spain back to the US. What happens after that? He kills himself. So, bit strange. Why would they kill him, right? Or why would he kill himself? Because he came on Twitter, right, and he's putting out these fucking posts. I'm content in here. He's referring to the prison. I have friends. The food is good. All is well. Know that if I hang myself, I like Epstein, it will be no fault of mine.
Interesting. He actually tweeted that. And now that you talk about prison food, I have a feeling that Spanish, because you're in a more cultured country, like that, they'd have probably
Subjective,
a
but yeah.
nice
A nice paella.
a nice mix. You get that slosh in the standard
Yeah.
prisons. Imagine a nice paella with like some chopped chorizo. Be a nice probably tasty.
Some jamon iberico.
Pimenton.
You want some paprika on that? Yeah, and apart from that message on Twitter, put another one. This is just before he died. Getting subtle messages from US officials saying, in effect, "We're coming for you, McAfee. We're going to kill you." Oh, we're going to kill you. Yeah, I got a tattoo. He got a tattoo as well. And basically, if he ever ends up dead, to check the tattoo on his right arm, and he just wrote "whacked," like they'll kill him.
This is like that bloke in that movie Memento, how he doesn't have a memory or is short term memory, and he just put tattoos all over his body to be like, this is how you remember.
People who tattoo their names on them. So why would they kill a man just for avoiding tax payments, right? Makes no sense. Why would you kill the man if he's just avoiding tax? Just get him to fucking pay the money. Otherwise, you're never going to get the money if you kill him.
Yeah.
Well, if you dive deeper into the charismatic fuckboy known as Mr. McAfee, and we can call him a fuckboy because self-proclaimed has 47 children.
That's a juicy seed bag. I'm not talking about the Monsanto ones that drop fertilization.
He's fucking pumping them kids out, if you believe him. 47 kids. That's why he's avoiding tax. You're going to pay child support for
You
those
either
children.
pay the tax or you pay the child support. I guess you pay nothing now.
So in an interview...
Because he did.
In an interview he gave, this is what he stated, and this might allude to why he fucking hung himself, or allegedly.
Allegedly.
Quote, I donated to many secretaries within the government, laptop computers, so saying he donated them laptop computers, really nice ones, that were preloaded with viral spyware. Within a week, the entire government computer system was under my control. I was watching, monitoring, listening. I was looking for information that they had set me up for that raid. Apparently he was raided before for no apparent reason. They found nothing. They just released him. But they stole all his computers and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't find it. But I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. And the Minister of Immigration, the largest human trafficker. So he's referring to the Belizean government where he was staying at the time.
So this sort of ties in with like reasons why other celebrities committed suicide by hanging.
Yeah.
From this child trafficking sort of shit.
And then he goes on to post on Twitter, I've collected files of corruption in governments. For the first time, I'm naming names and specifics. I'll begin with a corrupt CIA agent and 2 Bahamian officials. Coming today, if I'm arrested or disappear, 31 terabytes of incriminating data will be released to the press.
Interesting.
So he's basically saying he's got a kill switch. And when he died, there was a few interesting things that happened. Like a Q was posted on his Instagram page. And if you look at the data behind it, it leads to the Ethereum transaction, which is like a cryptocurrency transaction, and shows funds being transferred, whatever the fuck it is. But look, he's saying he's got 31 terabytes of incriminating data. That's a lot of fucking data. But the thing is with McAfee, we know he was a bit of a con man, a wild boy. So what do you believe?
Well, let's just leave it in the hands of...
We'll see. If there really is a kill switch, if it comes out...
We'll see. Like, there's Hunter Biden's laptop, there's fucking Hillary's laptop, there's Podesta's emails. It's all the stuff that's swept under the rugs that you won't be able to get Rudy Giuliani to support you these days.
See how my head's melting, my law degree's melting. I'm melting.
Melting, yeah. So Rudy Giuliani lost his law license because due to all the false information he was allegedly saying regards to the presidential election of 2020. He recently went with Sidney Powell and
why are you laughing?
And My Pillow guy. And they attended a court to address the Dominion voting. That was like the other day. Guess I had to fucking hit the den back.
They probably just got sick of Giuliani. Get out of it. Get his fucking take his license off him as well.
So yeah, that's interesting. And how about the news about the Arizona counts? Apparently, what's it called?
Trump won?
Or Trump. And they're trying to avoid to bring that in. So when do you reckon they're going to finally announce it?
I don't think they will, because I'm going to leapfrog into something else.
Yeah.
Did you hear Biden's speech? Apart from him whispering like fucking ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
He was basically saying, like, speaking out against people who want to take on the government, these patriots. I think he referred to them as patriots, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you're basically going to need F-15s and nuclear warheads to take on the government.
Because?
Kind of like a thinly veiled threat.
Is that like because we're going to get rid of your guns soon?
Who knows?
Interesting. And other interesting news, as well as August Ames, Bella Blaze,
What the fuck?
the next famous porn star to die, George Floyd.
Oh yeah.
He he's a assassin, if we call him that.
Yeah.
Received 22 and a half years of prison. You should see the community is overwhelmed because how old was the bloke? Like 30, late 30s, 40 years old.
Chauvin.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Anyway, so he'll be in there for
Probably spending the majority of the rest of his life in prison.
But interesting. So
Speaking of prison,
who else we got there?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes.
What's been going on with Ghislaine Maxwell? She got arrested. Little cute mugshot came out.
Oh, did it actually?
Well, this was ages ago. Like her in,
It's not that one that was drawn by Scotland Yard.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe.
Anyway, she's complaining about her conditions in jail. Apparently, there's rat feces dropping on her, and she can smell open sewage. Well, Ghislaine, hate to break it to you, but life in prison ain't that glamorous.
Maybe
Maybe if you get them torpedoes out for the guards.
maybe in a Spanish prison better.
Yeah, well, McAfee was fucking doing live streams and shit.
Well, there you go. And one little other interesting piece of news that dropped a couple of days ago that no one even heard about. Mr. Warren Buffett is he's left the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Not profitable anymore for him?
I guess not, because with that whole divorce shit, that's just lost in space now. And I'm not talking about space pinball on Windows.
XP.
Yeah,
Space Cadet.
yeah,
Many hours wasted into that thing.
so good. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, so he's decided to leave the foundation. He's also sold like 4 billion of his shares in his own company. So what's the plan? Is he like the next bloke to...
He might buy back in once wait, what am I talking about? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, he might, what's it called? He might be the next celebrity to COVID death.
Actually, that could be a good foreshadowing of what's to come in the stock market, because it's apparently it's in a bubble that's about to pop, and he's probably getting out before the fucking ship sinks. A la Titanic Jesuit.
Yes, he's Jesuit trained.
So watch Warren all you can eat buffets moves and mimic them, because he's ahead of the curve in this shit. Stock market could be fucking crashing soon.
There you go. And a little nugget, one more.
A bit of random news for you. Make-A-Wish. Yeah, that little company that grants terminally ill children a final wish to make them feel satisfied before they ride off into the sunset. Guess what? If you're not vaccinated, they're not granting you any more wishes.
Oh, okay.
So what's the fucking point? A terminally ill child, look, they're going to die anyway, but you're not going to grant them their wish unless they're vaccinated.
So the options are they're going to die, or we're going to kill them with the COVID vaccine. So either way, we don't have to grant them a wish because they're going to be
But that's
dead.
okay, because the fucking CEO head honcho of Make-A-Wish just bought a $40 million mansion.
Oh, did he?
$500 million mansion.
Good on him. Good on him. And on that note, heavy week of news, ghostnutspodcast.com.
Yeah.
Get it here while it lasts. We received another strike from our news YouTube page, so I guess fucking that's not going all bright and dandy, as they say.
I don't think anyone says that anymore, do they?
Well,
Unless you're a fucking pensioner enjoying a nice marmalade on some toast.
maybe I'll be hitting up the gem all in my panic buying.
Yes.
BitChute. Well, every other social media platform is fucked. Like, on Facebook we're getting shadowed. Twitter. Look, we're there just if you search us.
Ghostnutspodcast.com.
Yeah.
That's a main fucking hub.
And for your latest news, hit us up, emails about some interesting info you want to drop, something about Operation COVID Shield.
Listen, I want a reptilian expert to reach out to us. I want to get deep into that fucking scale shit, because, little interesting info, they found the remains of a skull 110,000 years old, can't remember. And they're calling it dragon skull or some shit.
Dracon.
Dracon. They found yesterday some new fucking human remains. Apparently that's a different species from us.
Yeah. And as they say in Australia,
Love it or leave it.
Love it and leave it.
Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Get some Vegemite on your ass.
And get the fucking vaccine, cunt, because, you know, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. This is prison planet.
Oh, shit.
You Ghostnuts, motherfucker.
Ghostnuts. Podcast, boys.
Are they discussing this on the Ghostnuts podcast? Are you? You guys need to break this fucking down.
Get to the chopper! Kill your fucking selves, you fucking globalists!
We can't see them, they can't see us.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
God, I love those Ghostnuts.